prominent representative to the United Nations, District Education Officer, District 5, Ms. Tessa McQuilkin, Pastor Stanford Simon, member of the clergy, other members of the clergy, curriculum officers, other ministry officials, principal of the Grenada Boys Secondary School, Mr. Anthony Kenny James, and the lovely Mrs. James, featured address speaker, Pastor Jamie Gordon, Adventist Chaplaincy Ministries, Youth Ministries, and Public Campus Ministries Director, President of the GBSS Parent Teachers Association, Mr. Lyndon Bubb, other members of the GBSS PTA, past principals and teachers of the GBSS, principals of other secondary schools, specially invited guests, members of staff, parents and guardians, graduates, viewing audience, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This morning, I am Ms. Patrina Abraham, one of your co-hosts this morning, together with
Mr. Tariq Miller, and it is an honor and a privilege to welcome you to this memorable occasion. Begin this ceremony by paying tribute to our nation. Please rise as you observe the national anthem of Grenada, performed on steel pan by Rayshon Daniel.
Thank you, Rayshon. As we prepare to welcome this year's graduating class, let us receive them with the pride and admiration they so richly deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to welcome the 2026 graduating class of the Grenada Boys Secondary School. Let's put our hands together and welcome
Ladies and gentlemen, you may have your seat while the boys make their entrance. Round of applause for our graduating class. A moment of stillness before it begins. Graduation is an incredible milestone. It represents the space between who we were and who we are becoming. There is no better way to step across that threshold than by seeking God's wisdom. We may not know what the future holds, but we can step into it with courage when we trust the one who holds it. It is now my pleasure to invite Pastor Stanford Simon to lead us in the opening prayer. Please welcome him.
I invite you to stand, ladies and gentlemen. empowering ambassadors to model excellence and champion positive change in an evolving society. Almighty and eternal Father, we come to you today in humility, thanking you for your grace, your mercy, and your provision. Thank you, O God, for the years you have blessed each of these young men with, who have committed themselves to study. Thank you for the teachers, the principals, the parents, Lord, everyone that was involved in helping them on this journey. Lord, as they come to the end of this phase and to begin anew, we thank you, O God, for the grace you have extended to them. The time of studies, the frustration, the joy, the happiness, Lord, within the pain and agony, yet still the triumph. And today is another of that. We pray, O God, as we celebrate with them, we ask your blessing over the ceremony. Every word that would be spoken, the thoughts that would be shared, the memories, Lord, that would so involve every part of what they themselves have so molded and shaped over the years with the guidance and leadership of their teachers, Lord, and their parents, their friends. We pray, Father, Lord, that your word that has given them the strength, Lord, the opportunity to share and to become the instrument of change. As they begin this journey, we commit them to you, Lord, and we ask your blessings over them. And every word that would be spoken, the thoughts that we share today, may it be to your honor and your glory. This we ask in Jesus' holy and precious name. Amen.
We graciously thank you, Pastor Simon. Please be seated. With warmth, enthusiasm, and a deep appreciation, please join me in warmly welcoming Caleb McSween to present the welcome remarks.
Parliamentary Representative for the Tongue of St. George's, Honorable Peter David, Mrs. Lorraine St. Louis Ned, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Representative for the Minister for Education, Senator and Honorable David Andrew, Mr. Kennedy Roberts, Ambassador for Sustainable Development, Ms. Ingrid Jackson, Grenada's Permanent Representative to the United Nations, District Education Officer, District 5, Ms. Tessa McQuilkin, Pastor Stanford Simon, member of the clergy, other members of the clergy, curriculum officers, other ministry officials, principal of the Great Grenada Boys Secondary School, Mr. Anthony Kenny James and the lovely Mrs. James, featured address speaker, Pastor Jamie Gordon, Adventist Chaplaincy Ministries, Youth Ministries and Public Campus Ministries Director, President of the GBSS Parent Teacher Association, Mr. Lyndon Bob, other members of the GBSS PTA, past principals and teachers of the GBSS, principals of other secondary schools, specially invited guests, members of staff, parents and guardians, graduates, viewing audience. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is with great honor and heartfelt gratitude that I, Caleb McSween, welcome each and every one of you to this momentous occasion, our graduation day. Look around this room. We see the proud faces of cherished well-wishers who cheered for us every step of the way. We see the passionate teachers and staff who always went the extra mile to help us succeed. Most of all, we see our wonderful families who supported us through every late-night study session and early morning rush. Today, we gather to celebrate not just academic success, but the personal growth, perseverance, and shared experiences that have brought us to this milestone. As we begin this ceremony, let us reflect on this year's graduation theme, empowering ambassadors to model excellence and champion positive change in an evolving society. This theme perfectly captures the spirit of our secondary school journey. It reminds us to respect where we have come from, to live fully in the present, and to boldly face what lies ahead. Along this path, we conquered tough exams, grew in confidence, and forged friendships that will last a lifetime. While we gained academic knowledge inside the classroom, we also learned the true value of community, teamwork, and persistence, ideals that embody what it truly means to be a GBSS boy. To anchor us in this mindset, we can look to the words of scripture in Matthew chapter 5, verses 14 to 16, which beautifully reflects our theme. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. This reminds us that being an ambassador isn't about being perfect. It's about setting a standard through our actions, and championing positive change means using that light to impact the constantly changing world around us. Every challenge we faced inside these classrooms was simply preparation. Preparation for us to step out into society and make a real difference. There were moments when we struggled, when things seemed uncertain, and we questioned whether we would make it. And yet, here we are. To my fellow graduates, we finally made it to this incredible milestone. Let this day be a lasting reminder of how far we have come and a promise of how far we will go. On behalf of the graduating class, I extend the warmest of welcomes to you all. Let us honor this day for exactly what it is: a celebration of our past, a recognition of our present, and a bold declaration of our future. Please sit back, enjoy the ceremony, and celebrate this special day with us. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Caleb, for that warm welcome. It's now my distinct honor to invite to the podium a proud old boy, accomplished educator, and visionary leader whose commitment to excellence continues to shape the lives of countless young men. Mr. Anthony Kenny James assumed the role of acting principal of his alma mater on January 3, 2024. Over the course of his distinguished career, spanning more than 3 decades, he has served as vice principal of the St. Rose Modern Secondary School and president of the Grenada Trades Union Council, holding every presidential office with GUT and GTCU. A passionate advocate for education and leadership, Mr. James has represented Grenada on numerous national and regional educational and labor bodies, contributing significantly to education policy, teacher development, and institutional leadership throughout the Caribbean. His academic accomplishments include a Bachelor's of Arts with honors in liberal studies and international politics from St. George's University, a Master's of Science in Education with specialization in teacher leadership from Walden University, and a postgraduate diploma in quality assurance in higher education from the University of Mauritius. He is also an accredited director through the Chartered Governance Institute of Canada. Today, he holds a historic institution. He leads this historic institution with the same pride and vision that first inspired him as a GBSS student. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in a rousing welcome to our principal, Mr. Kenny James.
At one point, I was wondering who he is introducing. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Chairman, Parliamentary Representative for the town of St. George, Honorable Peter David, and I may add the leader, political leader of the movement. There's no orange here today. Your Excellencies, Ambassador Ingrid Jackson, Grenada's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Kennedy Roberts, special responsibility for sustainable goals, Mrs. Lorraine St. Louis Ned, permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, and representative for our dear Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, District Education Officer for District 5, Ms. Tessa McCulkin, Pastor Stanford Simon, my brother, and other members of the clergy, curriculum officers, other ministry officials, the lovely Mrs. James, Mrs. Johnson James, our keynote speaker, and old boy, Pastor Jamie Gordon, President of the GBSS Parent Teacher Association, Mr. Lyndon Bubb, other members of the GBSS PTA, past principal and teachers of the GBSS, and I here recognize Mr. and Mrs. Ashby, principals of other schools, other specially invited guests, members of staff, parents and guardians, graduates, those of you viewing the ceremony online. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. On behalf of the leadership of the GBSS, and on my own behalf, as school leader and principal, I take this opportunity to join with Master Caleb McSween in welcoming you to the 2026 graduation ceremony of the greatest institution in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, the Grenada Boys Secondary School. In this, our 141st year of existence, as an institution set up, designed for the education of boys, and later, through an experiment, and as a historian, we must set the historical context, through an experiment much like those who introduced it, the Grenada Revolution, there was the introduction of girls. So this institution, for a period, had a number of girls journey from Form 1 through to Form 5. It's instructive to note that while the revolution and the People's Revolutionary Government introduced this opportunity for education, the opportunity outlived the revolutionary experience, Comrade David, and came to an end in 1992 when the last set of girls exited the GBSS. These are the facts. Now, in history, we can do chronology, we can do deductions, and we can do inductions. So through chronology, deduction, and to a lesser extent induction, we can safely say that this may be the 136th graduating ceremony of the GBSS. So boys, this is your place in history, you can safely say, based on the time, based on the year that the GBSS started, that we could possibly be the 136th graduating class. We'll have to get past the womb to verify the historic facts. This is a moment that many of you waited for 5 years and more. The sacrifices, the blood, sweat, and tears that you shed over the years have finally come to fruition. Parents, for 5 years or more, you brought, or 5 years ago, and for some people maybe a little more, you brought a boy to be inducted into the life of the GBSS. And today, we are returning to you a well-rounded young man. Today, we release to you and the world the 2026 graduation cohort of the Grenada Boys Secondary School. We have fulfilled our duty of care, imparted values and morals, provided growth opportunities, scolded, motivated, counseled, and transformed your boy as an ambassador of this great institution. Our theme speaks to the heart of our work and their transformative journey, empowering ambassadors to model excellence and champion positive change in an evolving society. While our keynote speaker, Brother Gordon, will expound on the theme, permit me to briefly say that by definition, an ambassador, and we have two here with us today, is the highest ranking official representative of a country in another nation, serving as the formal link between governments. They act as both a diplomat and a spokesperson representing the national interests of our country abroad. They represent our country politically. They represent us in economic and cultural matters, negotiate treaties and agreements, protect the interests of our citizens in the countries where they are posted. And of course, they report on what is happening in the host country. Madam Chair and Co-Chair, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to reflect and to present a summary on the stewardship of the excellencies seated before us today. Last year at this podium, I reported that amongst our scholars, 13 boys wrote 9 subjects, 6 boys wrote 10, 7 boys wrote 11, and 2 boys wrote 15. I said to you then, we await their results and then we will publish. The published results are here. Omari McNeil, 15 passes. Tahir Ishidar, 15 passes. Caleb Lucas, 11 passes. Kirani Frederick, 11 passes. Clint Felix, 11 passes. Josiah Lewis, 10 passes. Issa Wadi, Sean Green, Jesse Bruno, Josiah Moore, Colin Lewis, Khalid Noel, Joel Francis, Xavier Williams, Damian Dominic, and Jalon St. Louis all secured 9 passes. Our boys have done very well. And I can tell you, in that category of 15 passes, we are hopeful that the GBSS will raise a certain cup, but we are listening. I hear a chuckle from a certain corner, but we are hopeful as the GBSS that we will raise a certain cup based on these results. This year, before you are boys who have followed a similar path. 16 boys wrote 9 subjects, 11 boys sat 10, 2 boys sat 11, 1 sat 12, and another sat 14. In this group of boys, the minimum number of subjects sat by any boy is 5 subjects. And again, in similar fashion, we await the results. Let's put our hands together for our boys. Our business students placed second in the 3rd Regional School Investment Competition hosted by the Eastern Caribbean Security Exchange, ECSE. The Boys on the Hill Company. And as I call their names, as I call your names, gentlemen, please stand that you can be recognized. The Boys on the Hill, that's the name of the company. Represented by Caleb Williams. Erickson Howard. Jaden Pear. Che Toussaint. And Camarion Ross. These are the boys on the hill who secured that position. Our businessmen. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The first place was secured by a St. Lucian school. We take comfort in the fact that no Grenadian school beat us in that competition. And so we still retain our local trophy as the boss when it comes to business in Grenada and at the secondary level. However, ladies and gentlemen, because the governor of the ECCB, Mr. Timothy Antwine, and his predecessor, Sir Dwight Venner, were graduates of the GBSS, we will endeavor to take the regional title and bring it where it should be, because we're also confident, Brother Boyk, that the future governor will also be a GBSS boy. Our basketballers brought home the 3rd prize this year, defeating the St. George's Institute in their final. Our basketballers, and of course, we're focusing on the Form 5 boys, the graduating class. So there are others who are not here, but we're focusing on our boys. Kamari St. Louis. There he is. Caden Andrew. Javid Ashby. Ethan Bubb. Nickel Elcock. Patrick Sansri. And Caleb Williams. Now, I don't want to say this too loudly, but SGI beat us in the preliminaries. But we ensured, as the GBSS, that where it mattered, that we did the job, and we did the job well to defeat the St. George's Institute. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You may be seated. Twice in this school year, I have had to keep quiet when I was in the presence of my colleague principal from St. George's Institute, Sister Samantha Antwine Purcell. But I was happy that the boys redeemed the pride so the principal could open his mouth once more. In the National Celebrations Committee Road Relay, our boys handled Noah Coutain, Jordan Hazard, Carlos Whiteman, who graduated last year and came back for a second year. But in this grouping, I wish to recognize and join me in putting your hands together for Mr. Shondell Finley. Shondell's journey is nothing but a great experience, a great demonstration of resilience, a great demonstration of tenacity. I can tell you, all things being equal, he was supposed to be part of last year's graduating class. But he's here this year, and that is because he understood the assignment and he stuck to the task. Congratulations, my brother. Well done. Brothers and sisters, it is never easy to accept an intercall loss. I don't know why Jamila is laughing, because we need to correct this. You know, the company that this lady works with sponsors a certain team, but she's a parent of the GBSS. Her son is part of the 2026 graduating class. So it's never easy. But as GBSS boys and as a school, we are always reminded that the prize to the one who earns it. And we didn't stop there. We went on to say, let this be defeat. We would still celebrate our boys' stand. We didn't win because we weren't good enough on that day. And so we celebrate with those who won. So while we knew Intercall 2026 would have been no easy walk in the park and would have been keenly contested, we were still hoping to maintain our title. Nevertheless, we must recognize the efforts of our team. We recognize athletes Rishon Daniel, Antoine Aline, both who are members of the 2025 Penn Relay team, Kasai Moody, a man who joined us from Jamaica, and I tell you, apart from me and Mr. Joseph, I think he might just be the best dressed man on the GBSS compound. When you talk about pants on waist, when you talk about shirt neatly tucked in pants as a military man, of course he's a cadet. None compares with Kasai. Balanced young man. Kamal Joseph, Jaden Pear, Shondell Finley, and Dakota Joseph. I must specially mention Dakota, because Dakota joined the GBSS as a consequence of Hurricane Beryl when she destroyed Carriacou. We got some good boys as a result of Beryl, but even boys from Carriacou deserve to come to the GBSS. He performed well in 2025, but approaching the 2026 athletic season, he engaged me in some bit of negotiation. He said to me, "Sir, I want something." I said, "What?" He said, "Sir, you have something upstairs, and I see you wearing one, and I want it. So here's what. I'll give you the first goal. I will deliver the first gold medal to the GBSS in Intercall 2026. And if I do that, sir, then you have to give me what I want. I shook his hand. I said, deal. Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, if I am not mistaken, that may have been the first event, the shot put senior boys may have been the first event of Intercall 2026. And when the results were given, in first position, the name that sounded throughout the stadium is Mr. Dakota Joseph, the Grenada Boys Secondary School. So of course, being a man of my word, when we had our little assembly after Intercall, I sent upstairs to get the gentleman's prize, and it was delivered. Today he has it with him. Congratulations, Dakota. Well done. Kamal Joseph had the responsibility of carrying the weight of the team. He placed third in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters, and also in the 110-meter hurdles. Fourth in the 400-meter hurdles, and ensured that the team secure the second position in the 4x100-meter relay, and third in the 4x400 meters relay. An Iron Man on Intercall Day. Let's recognize Kamal Joseph. Moreover, both boys went on to represent Grenada at the Carifta Games in 2026, and of course, did well. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The GBSS returned to the pen relays in 2025, thanks to the support of the Alumni International Foundation and other friends of the GBSS. This year, another team comprising, again, Kamal Joseph, Josh Thomas, Nathaniel Alfred, Cache Stevens, and Cornell Pear improved the performance of the school at these games in the 4x100-meter relay event. They won the heat in what was described as a remarkable performance in 42.86 seconds. Unfortunately, they were eased out of the final by a team out of Puerto Rico. Nevertheless, the team secured a ranking of 88 out of some 500 schools who participate in the pen relays. And the only other Caribbean island that we have seen there is Jamaica. So again, our boys have placed our school on the map. It would be remiss of me not to mention the successful journey of Ambassador Jaden Pear. Where is Jaden? The national under-16 champion who continues to represent his school and Grenada in the game of chess. So not football, not cricket, chess. In August 2025, Pear became the youngest International Chess Foundation rated player in Grenada after an impressive performance at the Under-16 Junior Chess Olympiad in Colombia. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Pear. Mr. Pear, continue using your brain and reaching for the stars. Very well. In the area of debating, while our team was not as successful as the year before, we still acknowledge the efforts of our orators, Aidan Frank, Ethan Ferguson, and Jace Phillip, our 2025-2026 Grenada debaters. Gentlemen, your efforts have not gone unnoticed. And I assure you, the results are by no means a reflection of your ability or your prospects as future public speakers and orators. Thank you very much. Continue to do an excellent job. In the area of music, our musicians captured the first place in the Ministry of Mental Health, Wellness, and Religious Affairs, jingle competition, producing a jingle and developing a video for this jingle. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Penny. There's Mr. Penny. Omarion Blackman, Noah Mitchell, Jordan Buckmeyer, and Deshaun Lewis. Of course, many of the Deshaun is in Form 4 going to Form 5, but these 4 boys were instrumental in getting that done. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It is also important to recognize the efforts of our drum corps, who secured the 3rd place in the Peter Phillip Drum Fest competition. Drummers, musicians, because we had a combination, drums, pans, wind instruments, was a nice combo. Gentlemen, please stand to be recognized. Very well. Keep playing. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, in response to the grief and sadness experienced by our nation, the ambassadors of the GBSS responded to the call of the PBC to unite with one loud voice. Caleb Williams, Jace Paul, Caleb McSween, Aidan Frank, and Ethan Ferguson, very well, collaborated with their peers from Presentation College to add their voices to the campaign against gender-based violence. Their production debuted on the first day of Intercall and was subsequently published on the social media pages of both schools and other schools. This represented the fact that among our boys, there exists a consciousness that causes them to be a voice for the voiceless and to demonstrate that it is still easy for boys of the PBC and boys of the GBSS to unite in one cause for the development of the Grenadian society. Gentlemen, thank you very much. After all, the PBC boasts about producing prime ministers. We boast about producing head of state in the persons of governors general. And in Westminster democracy, that is the highest office. So while there's room for the competitive banter in sports and even in politics, there's a higher calling for our young men, for the young men of both institutions, and that is to protect the welfare, the well-being of our women. The boys of the GBSS continue to represent the school and country well at all levels. Our boys continue to take on their ambassadorial roles seriously. Many others may not have made the winner's rostrum, but ensured that through their contributions, that they supported their classmates, that they supported the school. To you, gentlemen, I say keep working. Keep your heads high. Maintain your standards. You know what we have placed in you. You know what you want for yourself. Be exemplary, young men. Because remember, that line that says, they also ran and the champion. So there's the champion and the others who come together to make it happen. Each one must do his best. The winner display depends on the efforts of all the rest. Gentlemen, we have trained you. We have instilled in you the values of the GBSS, with God as your navigator, and guided by the motto, non palma sine labore. You are going to make it. Let these be your watchwords. I must express my gratitude to the members of the senior management team for their support and efforts throughout the year. The teachers for their commitment to the students and the ideals of the GBSS. Our parents for believing in us, supporting us, and above all, supporting your boy, that today he could be successful. Very important. Thank you very much for your support over these years on this journey. Special thanks is also extended to our major sponsor, Najiko, and other minor sponsors for your financial support to ensure that the work of the GBSS progresses smoothly. To our alumni in the United States, in England, and other parts of the globe, we thank you for your continued support of our welfare programs at the GBSS. Because of your contribution, some of these boys had a meal on a daily basis. Some of these boys are sitting here today. Your support is and was invaluable. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, old boys, old girls, viewers on our live stream, the GBSS experience is transformative. It transcends time. Regardless of which year, which date you entered, once you traverse the compound of the GBSS, the spirit of the West India Regiment takes control of you. The Boragi spirit lives in all of us. Therefore, I encourage us, as ambassadors of the greatest institution, the greatest secondary institution in the world, to blossom where we planted. Blossom, gentlemen, wherever you will be planted. Create change and continue to model the excellence that your alma mater requires of you. Never forget the first line in the chorus of our school song. The prize to the one, gentlemen, the prize to the one, the prize to the one, the prize to the one who earns it. And as we would always say, and that's because of you, that's because of me. Great is the GBSS. Godspeed.
We graciously thank and appreciate you, Mr. James. Education shapes the mind, but culture nourishes the soul. Today, our graduating class celebrates both. With that spirit in mind, it is my distinct pleasure to invite Aidan Frank to the podium to captivate us with his spoken word performance entitled, "We Mold, We Mend, We Move the People." Let us please welcome Aidan Frank.
Mr. Kenny James, I have a question. What do you do with a flame you didn't choose? handed me fire before I knew the rules, said, "You're an ambassador now." Gave me no warning, just heat in my hands like a sunrise that morning. I didn't know the light. I didn't know the weight. I just knew it was true. But hey, we model, we mend, we move the people. Miss Barry, I have a question. How do you carry fire and not burn the ones you love? You said excellence isn't the brightest spark above. It's the steady kind, the kind that bends and stays cupped in careful hands through winds of harder days. Walk slow, let it breathe, don't choke it with your rush. We model, we mend, we move the people. Mr. Sinclair, I have a question. What happens when the wind decides to turn? When the world ahead won't match the ones we have learned? You said the wind always shifts. That's not the threat. The danger is a flame too stiff to bend yet. Champion, champion, champion the change. Don't fear the burn. Shape the heat. Let it earn. We model, we mend, we move the people. Ms. Gabriel, I have a question. Am I still an ambassador with no one in the room? You said the realest light don't need no crowd to bloom. It just glows in the hallway, in the hush, in the choice made quiet. With no applause, no rush. Some fire shine the loudest when nobody's watching. We model, we mend, we move the people. Mr. Joseph, I have a question. What if I drop it? What if I'm not enough flame for the road? You said that's why we travel light in 1,000 small lights, never alone, close enough to lean in, to relight what's gone dim. 'Cause an ambassador's strength was never just within. We model, we mend, we move the people. Miss Hippolyte, I have a question, my last one. What do I do with this fire now that it's truly mine to hold? I think I finally know. Finally see the road, I carry it forward. Let it bend, let it never grow cold. I become the hand that passes it on. The way yours passed it on to me. That's my purpose. Clear, bold, and hold. We model, we mend, we move the people. We move the people, we move the people. The flame was never just light. It was a promise. I walk out to keep it and pass it on. I thank you.
Thank you, Aidan. We model, we mend, we move the people. As our graduates prepare to take their final bow as students of this noble institution, they do so through an art form that has become deeply rooted in the traditions and celebrations of the GBSS. Please join me in welcoming members of the graduating class as they present a special steel pan rendition entitled Human Nature. Let's put our hands together and welcome them.
At the Grenada Boys Secondary School, our mantra is to nurture the whole student, fostering a deep love for scholarship and passion. These young men today reflect a powerful truth that education can also gracefully express itself through talent and music. Let's give them another round of applause. Now, every graduation class has a story. It is a story of challenges overcome. It's a story of lessons learned, friendships formed, and dreams that continue to grow. This year's graduation song captures that journey beautifully. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome the graduating class with their rendition of I Rise.
Today, we close a chapter that shaped us, challenged us, and helped us to discover who we are. We leave behind classrooms and corridors filled with memories, and we carry with us the lessons we've learned, the friendships we've built, and the dreams that continue to inspire us. The road ahead may be uncertain and there'll be moments that test our strength. But we are not afraid of tomorrow because all we've experienced has prepared us for this moment.
Excellent, excellent, excellent rendition. Let us appreciate them one more time. It is both an honor and a privilege to introduce a young man who has not only excelled academically, but has also inspired those around him through his character, humility, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Aiden is the kind of student every school hopes to nurture. Mature beyond his years, he has consistently demonstrated responsibility, integrity, and a willingness to serve. No task was ever too great, no challenge too difficult. He accepted every opportunity with quiet confidence and carried it out with diligence and grace. His confidence is never mistaken for arrogance, and his leadership is defined not by words alone, but by action. As the second speaker of our school's debate team, Aiden showcased remarkable poise, eloquence, and critical thinking, while always uplifting and encouraging his teammates. He understands that true success is achieved not by standing above others, but by bringing others along the journey. Aiden is a living embodiment of our cherished motto, non palma sine labori, no reward without labor. Through discipline, perseverance, resilience, and an unwavering pursuit of excellence, he has earned every achievement that has brought him to this moment. More importantly, he has earned the respect, admiration, and affection of his teachers, classmates, and everyone who has had the privilege of knowing him. Today, as we celebrate his accomplishment of an extraordinary graduating class, we also celebrate a young man who represents its very best. His journey reminds us that greatness is built one choice, one act of kindness, one moment of perseverance at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating an exceptional scholar, an inspiring leader, and a remarkable young gentleman. It is with immense pride that I present to you the valedictorian of the graduating class of 2026, Aiden Frank.
Parliamentary Representative for the Tongue of St. George's, Honorable Peter David, Mrs. Lorraine St. Louis Ned, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Representative for the Minister for Education, Senator, the Honorable David Andrew, Mr. Kennedy Roberts, Ambassador for Sustainable Development, Ms. Ingrinal Jackson, Ottawa's Permanent Representative for the United Nations. District Education Officer, District 5, Ms. Tessa McQuilkin. Pastor Stanford Simon, member of the clergy. Other members of the clergy, curriculum officers, other minister officials, principal of the Grenada Boys Secondary School, Mr. Anthony Kenny James, and the lovely Mrs. James. Featured address speaker, Pastor Jamie Gordon, Adventist Chaplaincy Ministries, Youth Ministries, and Public Campus Ministries Director. President of the GBSS Parents Teacher Association, Mr. Lyndon Bubb. Other members of the GBSS PTA, past principals and teachers of the GBSS, principals of other schools, specially invited guests, members of staff, parents and guardians, graduates, viewing audience, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today, I stand before you not simply as a graduate, but as a representative of a class that has been tested, stretched, broken in places, and rebuilt stronger. A class that did not just pass through these 5 years, but was truly shaped by them. We are not merely the GBSS boys who showed up each morning to beat the bell. We are the products of an institution built on discipline, resilience, and brotherhood. And today, we stand as living proof of what that foundation can produce. Today is a celebration for gratitude, and honestly, for some reflection as well. We have been through thick and thin over the last 5 years. From the awkward on-show boys who walked in as Form 1s to the young men sitting here today. This journey has shaped us in ways we're probably still figuring out. To our teachers, thank you. Thank you for pushing us, for being patient with us, even when we gave you trouble, tested your limits, and probably caused a few gray hairs along the way. We're sorry for the stress, but we are genuinely grateful you stuck with us and pulled the best out of us anyway. No, you are never just educators standing in front of a whiteboard or a blackboard. You are our second parents, reminding us again and again that our futures were worth the fight. To all of our teachers, thank you. Every single one of you played a part in getting us here. And we do not take that for granted. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to Ms. Gabriel and Ms. Hippolyte. Thank you for guiding us through graduation practice. Mr. Faray alongside with Mr. Joseph, thank you for your help along the way. And Ms. Kellys, thank you for helping us with our singing. We truly do appreciate it. And who knows, some of us might even take on the mantle of becoming professional singers. Our theme this year is empowering ambassadors to model excellence and champion positive change in an evolving society. I know, it sounds big and a little fancy. But really, it's just who we are becoming as GBSS boys. We're not walking out of here with just certificates in hands. We're walking out as examples, as leaders, and as young men who are about to go and influence our families, our communities, and our country. Some of us will never forget the strange, foggy days of COVID-19 era, when our whole school life happened behind a screen. Back then, we barely knew each other. Just profile pictures on Google Meet, Zoom, and Teams. Miss, my Wi-Fi giving trouble. Miss, I can't log in. Form 1 was truly our dark age. We had fun, yes. Don't get it twisted. But it also held our education back in real ways. And we felt that the moment school reopened. Let art be an example. Creativity has never really been my thing. Honestly, I might be one of the least artistic people in this whole graduating class. So when I pulled a 99 in visual arts during online school, everybody and their grandmother shocked. My family, my old primary school friends, definitely me. But here's the truth. I cheated. I leaned on my aunt, the actual artist in the family, way more than I should have. I pulled pictures off the internet and passed them off as mine. Then we came back to face-to-face classes. Boy, grab or smoke my pipe. There I was struggling to draw a simple apple that somehow looked more like a deflated ball. My grade dropped to a 54. That one experience showed me how easy it was to fool myself with a mouse and a Wi-Fi connection. It showed me how far behind I really was the moment I had to stand on my own 2 feet. Now, shortcuts might get you the marks, but they will never build your skill, your character, or your confidence. Then came Form 2. By now, we were getting comfortable with each other, building real friendships and real bonds. We shared laughs, inside jokes, and moments we still bring up today. One of the memories a lot of us recall fondly is Miss Liebert and the mafia trend that basically took over 2G at the time for weeks. Now, Form 3 was our halfway mark. And that's really when the transformation started kicking in. Voices were changing. Some of us were starting to grow peach fuzz. And when I say some of us, please understand, I am very much excluded. I am still pending, but you get the point. We also jumped from a whopping 12 subjects to about 22. And the workload hit different. It was a real adjustment, but come on, we're GBSS boys. So we dug in and we pushed through anyway. Across that year group, we had something we called a class war. That year, it was very wild, loud, full of rivalry, and energy that honestly only GBSS boys could bring. Those moments might seem small looking back, but it was also about community, connection, and growing up side by side. Now, I still fondly remember Miss Abraham taking 5G, previously known as 3G, outside to have a class because she swore there had to be a jumbie living in our classroom. Based purely on how we were behaving. It might have been a little funny, yes, but it also taught us something real. Our environment and our attitude can either make or break how we learn. Then Form 4 came faster than any of us expected. We finally dropped some subjects and focused on the ones we had chosen. But that definitely didn't mean things got easier. If anything, the workload got heavier. This was the year SBAs really took over our lives. Portfolios, projects, labs, and write-ups. It wasn't just about tests anymore. It was about consistency, time management, and responsibility. CXC started to feel close as a wave you can see building from far off, knowing it was eventually going to crash right on top of you. For me, Form 4 wasn't just academically hard. It broke something in me. My biggest supporter, the woman who always had my back, my mother, passed away last year. Losing her did not feel real at first. One day, I had someone to come home to. One day, I had someone to ask me, how was school? And the next, there was just silence where her voice used to be. Now, it took a heavy toll on my mental health and on my academics too. I stopped caring, honestly. My mindset became, what's the point? The person I wanted to make proud is gone. So why even try? Assignments pile up, topics rush past me, and I felt like I was watching my own life happen from somewhere outside of it, just going through the motions. I avoided talking about it with my friends, my family, and even my counselors, because I didn't want to seem weak. I didn't want to be the next sad story. And yet, here I am, standing in front of all of you, talking about it anyway. That in itself is growth. What that pain taught me, and what I want every boy sitting here to hear, is this. Never think that you are not enough. Never doubt yourself, and never let your hurt bury your hope. The people we love and lose wouldn't want us to give up. They'd want us to rise. They want our success to be part of their legacy. So today, if your mother, father, or guardian is sitting somewhere in this crowd, don't wait for a special occasion. When this ceremony is over, go tell them that you love them. Tell them you're grateful for every sacrifice, every lecture, every early morning, and every late night they spent helping you get here. Form 5 was just tough, plain and simple. Everything stepped up, teachers reminding us about SBAs and deadlines, late night classes, mountains of studying, and endless past papers. Some days were genuinely dreadful. Some nights we were exhausted, frustrated, and ready to throw in the towel. But we didn't. We pushed through every SBA, every topic, and every past paper. We walked into our CXC examinations with our hearts pounding and our minds racing. And somehow, day by day, we got closer to the finishing line. And as the final days of secondary school crept up on us, something happened that none of us really expected. Our bonds grew stronger. The same boys we argued with, competed against, or barely even spoke to back in Form 1 became the brothers we leaned on the most. We shared notes, past papers, snacks and jokes, and sometimes quiet moments where we admitted just to each other that we were scared. And now, here we are, side by side, at our graduation. My brothers, we made it. But we didn't just survive Form 5. As a graduating class, we made an unforgettable impact and left a legacy that will always be talked about for years to come. We proved that GBSS excellence isn't just a concept. It's who we are. Now, look at how our boys stepped up and championed meaningful causes when the Ministry of Health held its Mental Health Wellness Secondary School Jingle competition. It was our very own Noah Mitchell, Christopher Penny, Jordan Richardson Buckmeyer who took home first place. Using their voices to shine a light on a struggle that so many young people face. Let's take a look at the financial arena. Caleb, Williams, Erickson Howard, Chet Toussaint, Shamarian Ross, and Jaden Pierre showed the entire region what GBSS minds are capable of, capturing regional second place in the 2025 Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange Investment Competition. And speaking of making history, Jaden Pierre didn't stop there. He took his talents to the global stage at the World Under-16 Olympiad in Colombia, performing outstandingly to capture a historic international chess rating from the International Chess Federation. That's chess guy. And let's not forget the grit, sweat, and heart displayed on the track and field at the Intercollegiate Games 2026. Even though the overall trophies didn't fall our way, our boys represented the GBSS with absolute pride, dignity, and unmatched sportsmanship. A massive shout out to Kamal Joseph, Dakota Joseph, Kasai Moody, Rashawn Daniel, and Shondell Finley for showing everyone exactly what it means to fight hard and hold the GBSS banner high. So my brothers, what does our theme mean for us now? Empowering ambassadors to model excellence and champion positive change in an evolving society. Means that from today onward, we carry GBSs wherever we go. Excellence isn't just about distinctions on a report. It's about how we behave when nobody's watching. It's how we treat people who can't give us anything back. It's how we respond when life punches us in the gut. My brothers, being an ambassador means representing something bigger than yourself, your school, your family, your community, and your country. And championing positive change means we don't just sit around complaining about problems. We step up, we speak up, and we act. Our society is evolving fast. Technology is reshaping how we learn and how we work. Social media is shaping how we think, how we talk, and even how we see ourselves. The economy, the environment, the job market, it all keeps shifting under our feet. But through all that change, one thing has to stay constant. Our values, discipline, respect, resilience, integrity, and compassion. Those need to guide us whether we end up as teachers, doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, tradesmen, soldiers, or leaders in any field we choose. To the graduating class of 2026, we are not just boys in gray and white and a maroon tie, rushing to beat the bell anymore. We are young men with a story, with scars and strengths and with potential. We survived online school, struggled through academic overload, faced real personal losses and self-doubt. We learned that cheating might get you a moment of success. But effort is what actually builds you a future. We learned that friendships matter, the teachers are more than just people who mark papers. And that sometimes the darkest seasons are exactly what builds the strongest character. So, as we step out of GBSS, the great GBSS, let's make a promise, one to ourselves and one to each other, that we'll be the kind of ambassadors who lift others up, who stand for what's right even though when it's not popular, who chase excellence instead of excuses, who leave every room better than we found it. Let us be the generation that doesn't just wait around for change, but actually leads it at home, online, in our communities, and in our country. To my fellow graduates, Walk out today with your heads held high. You are more capable than you think, stronger than you feel, and more important to this country's future than you realize. As we move forward, let us always remember that without God, we are nothing. He has carried each of us through this journey, and with Him, our future is secure. Let this not be the end of our story, but the beginning of a new chapter as we honor the past and inspire the future. One day, another generation of boys will sit here where we are sitting today. They will wear the same uniform, walk the same corridors, hear the same bell. But whether they inherit a better school, a better community, and a better nation depends entirely on what we choose to do after today. So, let us leave this place not simply as graduates, but as men of integrity, men of excellence, and men who are determined to leave this world better than we found it. Let us be the ambassadors our team calls us to be, modeling excellence and championing positive change wherever life takes us. Congratulations, class of 2026. My apologies. Wow. May God bless each of you. May God continue to bless the Grenada Boys Secondary School. And may He bless our nation. I thank you.
Aiden, your strength, your tenacity, your fortitude has given voice to the memories and the spirit of the class of 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, music has a way of capturing emotions. It has a way of bringing people together in moments like these. We are fortunate at the GBSS to have a group of talented performers who will now add their own touch to this memorable experience. Please welcome Kasai Modi, Christopher Penny, Brandon Strawn, Noah Mitchell, Nathan John. Put your hands together as they grace the stage.
Moving in our midst, I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. Hey, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Hey, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. Hey, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Hey, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Hey, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Hey, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. That is who you are. That is who. That is who you are.
Plain and simple, we've got talent. Great is the GBSS. Pastor Jamie Gordon hails from the big parish of St. Andrew. He believes that his rural roots have played a significant role in his character and personal development. Pastor Gordon is married to Mrs. Sheba Gordon, and their union is blessed with 2 wonderful children. Pastor Gordon currently serves as a pastor within the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists and has done so for the past 15 years. He also serves as a youth director, casting vision, planning, and executing youth programs nationally. He additionally serves as a leader for public campus ministries, providing holistic support for students attending public colleges and universities. Pastor Gordon is an author who uses his gift to motivate and empower families, youth, and individuals to live at their maximum potential. To date, he has authored 4 books. He is also passionate about mentoring young people and believes in passing on tools and knowledge to the upcoming generations. He is the co-founder of the non-profit group SOAR, which is the acronym for Surmounting Obstacles, Advancing Relentlessly. SOAR launches its first masterclass for youth in 2022 at the GBSS and GSS Auditorium, focusing on entrepreneurship, money management, photography, public speaking, managing emotions, first aid, and spiritual growth. Pastor Gordon holds a bachelor's and a master's degree in pastoral theology and is currently pursuing a master's degree in counseling psychology. He is also a social media content creator and has a YouTube channel named Upper Ministries, where he shares inspiring and empowering life lessons, spiritual nuggets, and amateur short films. One of Pastor Gordon's main mantras is, fly high, stay low. We are called to excel in life, but we must remain humble and dependent on God. He is a proud old boy of the GBSS, graduating in the class of 2004. Let us put our hands together and welcome Pastor Gordon to the podium.
Parliamentary Representative for the town of St. George, the Honorable Peter David, Ms. Lorraine St. Louis Ned, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, and the Representative for Education, the Senator, the Honorable David Andrew. Mr. Kennedy Robert, Ambassador for Sustainable Development. Ms. Ingrid Jackson, Grenada's Permanent Representative to the United Nations. District Education Officer, District 5, Ms. Tessa McQuilkin. Pastor Sanford Simon, my colleague, member of the clergy, and other members of the clergy. Curriculum officers, ministry officials, principal of the Grenada Boys Secondary School, Mr. Anthony Kenny James, and the lovely Mrs. James. President of the Grenada Boys Secondary School Parent Teachers Association, Mr. Lyndon Bob. Other members of the GBSS PTA, past principals and teachers of the GBSS, principals of other secondary schools, specially invited guests, members of staff, parents, guardians, graduates, viewing audience, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good afternoon. There is a quote that I love that says, "There are no secrets to success, but it is really the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." There's another quote that really also sticks very close to my heart, and it says, "There are two types of people in our world today. People who will tell you that you cannot make a difference in this world, and those who are afraid to try, and those who are afraid that you will succeed." We are only here today because the graduating class of 2026 would have worked hard and therefore you succeeded. We are only here today because despite those who thought that you could not make it, you pressed on regardless. Today, allow me to extend my congratulations to the graduating class of 2026. You know, I'm a firm believer that God gives us our gifts as gifts to others. Today, I would have spoken to some of the members of staff and I would have asked for the names of two young men that would have displayed exemplary leadership, and I got two names. This afternoon, it is my privilege to present to them one of the latest copies of my book, Giant Footprints, The Life of Christopher Williams, that really captures the life of a remarkable leader that Grenada would have seen. And at this time, it is my honor to invite to collect their tokens, Shondell Finley, let's put our hands together for him, and Aidan Frank. I want you to join me as you come to receive your gifts. It is my aim that the content of this book would inspire you to chase God-sized dreams, to never be defined by your past or obstacles that you would have surmounted. And as you look to the Almighty God, you would always believe that great things are possible, because not only is great is the GBSS, but great is our God. Today, if I would use as a guiding text that would really summarize what my speech represents, allow me to read from Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 13. "The Lord will make you the head and not the tail." To me, it is as if God was speaking to GBSS. The Lord will make you the head and not the tail. If you pay attention to the commands of the Lord that I will give you this day, you will only be at the top and never beneath. Graduating class of 2026. I remember vividly as if it was only yesterday. The year was 1999, a few months before the famous, notorious year 2000. Also known as the millennium. There were many skeptics and doubters who thought that the world's computer and digital systems were not programmed to go beyond the 1900s. I don't know if you remember that time with me. Many persons thought that as soon as it was midnight, December 31st, 1999, that phones and watches and computers and television sets would automatically crash. It was that year, pregnant with anxiety, fear, and uncertainty, that I stepped into the GBSS auditorium, signing up as a new student. I remember the months of preparation. I remember shopping around for the right-sized shirt. I remember going to a Boots and buying the dark gray Oxford collar pants and going to my tailor at the time, Mr. King, I remember it was at that time that the Bigfoot pants was in style, and you wanted it at a certain size to flow as you walked. I remember that my aunt from America was the one tasked with buying my first school shoe. I remember it was a rugged Outback size 8.5. But then I remember the start of school, that great memorable morning. As I put on my pants, it was hardened with starch, and probably it could have stood on its own accord. The seams were so sharp that probably it could have cut nails. And I remember that as I prepared my shoes, we used the wax polish. You allowed it to dry, then you sprinkled some water, and then you took that nice cloth and you shone it as if your face could have been reflected. But then came the final addition to my uniform. I remember putting that tie around my neck. And even now I feel as if a surge of power flowed through my chest, because I remember the stories told of my grandmother's sacrifice to send my father to school, being one of the leading forces in me attending GBSS. I remember that she was not a learned person in those days. I remember that she survived of the land, but she saw it fit enough to send him. And I also remember the legacy of my older brother who attended GBSS. So as I donned that tie, I felt a sense of purpose. As a matter of fact, as I placed that tie on this morning, my memories of GBSS flashed before my eyes. And today I know that the graduating class, you are wearing your tie for the final official ceremony. But today I want to remind you that as you wear your tie, you are wearing years of legacy. As you wear that maroon tie decorated with strips of colors, you are wearing years of history, sacrifice, successes, years where prominent men and women were shaped. And we pray that as you continue wearing that tie symbolically and figuratively, that indeed that standard of excellence that the GBSS holds indeed will flow through your veins. Today I ask myself the question, as ambassadors, what is the meaning of life? I was a bit curious, so I decided to ask some learned philosophers, what is the true meaning of life? I stumbled upon Aristotle, one of the great sages of Earth's history. And Aristotle said that life's main purpose was to find flourishing and fulfillment. But still, I wanted to learn a little more, so I pressed further. Then I stumbled upon the sage Epicurus. Epicurus said that life's meaning is found in a state of tranquility and freedom and quiet. Still a little dissatisfied, I decided to search on. Then I came to Friedrich Nietzsche, who said, God is dead. That life is a state of living in absurdity, and we can only embrace the suffering that life has to offer. Then I went to Albert Camus, and he said that life's meaning is found at that point where we understand that life is really meaningless. And he concluded that the only way that life could have meaning is to accept the madness of life and to live in rebellion and defiance. But I decided as a theologian to consult the good book, the book of books, and the book that our matching authors come from. And I stumbled upon Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. It was there that God said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. What sums up life in a sentence or two, and it says, fear God, keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Today, graduating class, I just want to remind you that the substance of life is found in relationship with God. Today I've also come by to remind you that the substance of your well-being, your self-esteem, your confidence, your swag, your mission and your purpose can only be found when we are in sync with God's plan for our lives. Today you would observe that your walls are getting smaller. You remember in primary school, in preschool rather, that as students there were many walls of protection. It was as if we were mothered by our teachers there. But as you transitioned to primary school, the walls got fewer, as you got more liberty and freedom to be yourselves. But then you went to secondary schools and there were even fewer walls. But as you look ahead at your tertiary academic process, there will hardly be any walls. Today I want to encourage you, graduating class, that you will use all the experiences and the lessons of character development to deal with this newfound freedom in such a way that the world will be able to depend on you. Today I paid particular attention to the haircuts of the graduating class. Very sleek, very sharp, very dapper, modeling the Ambassador Kenny James. But today I don't want to bust your bubble, graduating class. Despite how flawless and smooth you look today, the reality is that life out there is a jagged, rough life. But I've also come with some hope today that despite the cold world out there is still a place for radiant, caring people who will serve regardless. Today we live in a world of economic uncertainty. As the days go by, with each bomb that drops, it is as if the cost of living spirals upward. But despite the economic uncertainty, there is still a place for young geniuses and innovative minds that can creatively solve the problems of the economic situation. Today I want to also say that our world is quickly becoming even more immoral as the days go by, where God is being eventually pushed out of our institutions. But there is still a place for men who will make a difference. Today I quote from one of my favorite authors, and she says, "The greatest want of the world is men. Men who would not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin and wrongdoing by its right name. Men whose conscience are as true to duty as a needle to the pole. Men who will stand for rights though the heavens fall." Young men, there is no more room in our world today for bandwagonists who will ride the waves of other trend setters. But today, God is positioning you in such a place that you will dream your own visions. You will build your own legacy. You will live your own life, inviting others to pattern after the model that you have set. Today I want to share some few tips how you can be a model, even an ambassador, in a changing and evolving world. Point number one, you must be authentic. What's point number one, graduating class? You must be authentic. There is a little story that I love of a woman who was a little bit on the overweight side. But she was one of the keenest advertisers and marketers for a weight loss pill. And she would hold large promotions, very convincing, smooth words. And she could almost convince persons to buy hundreds of her pills. But there was a little boy in audience one day, and at the end of her speech, he said, "Ma'am, if the pills are so good, then why hasn't it done anything for you?" Quickly she buried her head and admittingly said, "I'm only selling it for the money. I don't use it myself." Young men, we live in a world today where we don't need more men to just say, "Do as I say and not as I live." But there is a need for young quality men who would be authentic, not just teaching, not just sharing, but would actually go the way. Be authentic. Point number two, you must learn to let go. The fable is told of the hunter and the monkey, very humorous but real story. And the hunter devised a plan how to catch monkeys. Simply he put some peanuts in the bottom of a jar. But the jar was only large enough to allow an empty hand to go in and come out. But monkeys, being very greedy animals, and would find it difficult to let go of the peanuts in the jar. But when the fist was folded, the hands were too big to pull it out of the jar. And as a monkey would have seen the hunters closing in, they thought about the value of the peanuts. And instead of letting go, they held on, only to be captured by the hunter. Young men, there are many peanuts in life that will get your attention. There are many distractions in life that if you are not careful to let them go, your hands will stay in that jar, being captive by distractions and even demise of your life. But we must get to the point to let go from anything that dissuades you or redirects you from your mission that God has aligned you for. Let go. Point number three, be prepared to be a misfit. You know, I lived a stone throw away from the St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School. As a matter of fact, I was born in Telescope. I walk out my gap, and there's SAS. But I decided to come GBSS. Little did I know that I would find myself in a bit of a quandary, because my friends and colleagues from Grenville all went to SAS. So in their eyes, I was no longer a Grenville man. I sold out. But as I went down to GBSS, you would understand that I had a sharp country accent. And I was labeled, how do they call us? Country bookies. And they were asking themselves, what is this country boy doing in town? So in Grenville, I was seen as a sellout. But in GBSS, as I entered, I was seen also as a misfit. And I felt in such a way that the door was being closed and I could not enter. But regardless of what I faced, I pressed on. Young men, I'm sharing all this to say that as you become role models and ambassadors, there will be many persons who think that you would have sold out after living behind that worldly, carefree life. But there will be other persons who think you are not deserving to step into the doors that God is open for you. But I'm encouraging you today to live a life in such a way that others will know that you belong in those places and in those rooms. Sometimes you will feel as a misfit. You know, an ambassador is someone who is appointed by a territory, a state, or a kingdom to represent the interests of that kingdom. But today my question is, what kingdom are you an ambassador for? One may quickly chirp, well, I want to build a kingdom of riches. But guess what? If you are simply a representative for the kingdom of money, then you will be easy to buy and sell your worth and your value. Someone may say, well, I'm chasing power to reach the ultimate heights of power and rulership. But if that is the only thing that you are staring at, then you can easily forget where you came from and can step into some wrong rooms. If you are simply chasing image and possession, to have the cars and the house and the clothes and that image, you will be a slave to the expectations of others. But today, even the wisest man Solomon said that if we are simply chasing academic achievement, and this is what Solomon says, he says, of many books there is no end, and there is much weariness in the study of books. So at the end of it all, what kingdom are you representing? Today I may sound a bit old-fashioned to some, but I still believe that there are only two kingdoms in this life. Kingdom that represents good and a kingdom that represents evil. There are no middle grounds. You can be an ambassador for the kingdom that represents life, light and life, or you can be an ambassador for the kingdom of darkness and destruction. But which kingdom are you representing? As an ambassador, you must recognize your purpose. Just a few more tips. You know, I remember at GBSS, one of my favorite subjects was principles of accounts and principles of business. Mathematics, these were subject areas that I excelled in, and I saw my future being an entrepreneur, making millions, yea, billions of dollars. I remember even in primary school, I was what you call a hustler. I bought snacks from Trinidad, yeah. So I had my source and my supply, and I would sell for a profit to make some money. You know, my mom often laughs at me. There was one time I had to buy a wallet. It was $5.95 at the time. And I went to the bank to only withdraw $5.95 because I wanted my 5 cents to stay there to get some interest. I went to GBSS, and even though it was outlawed, Mr. James, I still snuck my juice in and I sold. And I'm saying that was my life's trajectory, what drove me. After GBSS, I went to college. I pursued business, accounting, economics. And right after, I started the ACCA program, that accounting certified course there. I'm saying all that for a reason. But then suddenly, something happened in my life. Still today, I can't explain it. Where God took what I love and replaced it with something different. But I thought I knew what I wanted. But God, who is my model, understood what he needed me to do. And God rearranged my bearings and my mind in such a way that he placed me on that path to become a minister of religion. To me, still today, it is still a shocking recollection. But I'm saying this to the graduating class, that you may leave these hallowed walls of your soon-to-be alma mater, thinking that you know what you will be in life. But give God room to show you what he wants for you. And let me tell you something. There is no greater joy that I find in serving in the capacity that I'm serving today. Only because I took that challenge to allow God to redirect my life. Some of you may have your career path already outlined, but allow God the Creator to give you your marching orders. And when you put God first, you will never come in second. You know, during the intercall season, I was one of those on WhatsApp statuses ever so often. Great is the GBSS. Everything green, we send in and we flying. But I really sat and I thought about it. Great is the GBSS. It's a significant phrase. But then I recounted that great institutions produce great men. But great men in turn produces great institutions. And great institutions produce great men. And great men produce great institutions. It's a cycle of life. What is the meaning of this today? Young men, as you have come from an institution of greatness, you are now an ambassador of greatness. Wherever you go, you lift the bar. Whatever room you walk into, you set the standard. Because great is the GBSS that produces great men who in turn will complete that cycle of creating another institution. Your institution might be a great family. Your institution might be a great home, a great community, a great nation, a great business. But allow greatness not to stop here today, but allow that cycle to continue in your life. Today I end with my final point. Keep getting back up. Being an ambassador is a very weighty role. Lots of eyes on you, lots of expectations. But today I want to rewind the tapes to the 1992 Olympic Games. The 400 meter was the event. Derek Redmond, a British sprinter, just like Irani James, was one of the favorite runners to take that gold. But it was the semi-finals. He was there on the starter's block. And as the gun went off, immediately, of course, he started to cover ground. And it was sure that he would be victorious. But around the 200-meter bend, his hamstring snapped. He lay paralyzed on the ground. But recognizing that he had to finish his race, he got back up, he hobbled. His father, seeing the plight of his son, and by the way, his father was one of his training partners. His father broke through the officials who tried to keep the father back. But the father went to his son, helped him up, and he reached to the end of that finish line. Graduating class, just like Derek Redmond, your life is full of promise. As you stare at that finish line today, you may only see victory and success. But every now and then, our hamstring snaps. Every now and then, we may find ourselves paralyzed by failure, paralyzed by defeat, paralyzed by fear, but we must get back up. When we get back up, our Father sees us from a distance. He is willing to break through the naysayers. He is willing to break through the officials to come to your rescue to finish that race. Today I want to encourage you as I end that even when life throws a curveball, you must keep getting back up. Even when you feel like staying down, even when you feel defeated, even when you feel as if all hope is lost, even when you feel as if this is the end of your story, the end of the chapter, keep getting back up. Great is the GBSS. Great is the class of 2026. Great is God Almighty. Great men make great institutions, and great institutions make great men. Be counted, stand up. Don't be a statistic. Let your name be heard, not for the bad reasons. Be a trailblazer. Be a game changer. Bend the status quo. Be a light in a darkened world. Be what GBSS represents, models as ambassadors to a dark and a dying world. God bless.
We graciously thank you, Pastor Gordon, and we really appreciate your kind words this afternoon. And to show our appreciation, I now call on Shonda Glean to come to present a small token of our appreciation to Pastor Gordon. Let's welcome Shonda. Okay, we've now come to one of the most memorable and anticipated moments of today's ceremony, the presentation of certificates. As each graduate is called, let us celebrate their hard work, dedication, and achievement with a warm round of applause. I now invite Mrs. Lauren St. Louis Ned, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, to assist in the distribution of certificates. Let's put our hands together and welcome Mrs. Ned. Javon Prophet. Jaden Copeland. Kenji Philip. Caleb McSween. Kasai Moody. Shakri Patrick. Shondell Frederick Callis. O'Marion Blackman. Jaden Modeste. Kenan Charles. Chasley Lewis. Ethaniel Jeremiah. Shondell Glean. Zerubbabel Brown. Bryden Strawn. Brandon Skeets. Antoine Aline, Suleiman Bamchi, Daniel Albert, Jamari Charles, Aiden Frank, Ramon Batiste, Nathaniel Alexander, Aiden Antoine, Nathan Salim, Amir Thomas, Kirani Thomas, Erickson Howard, Justin Thomas, Rehan Lunat, Darnell Mitchell, Nathan John, Caleb Nicholas, Aiden Dubisset, Rashawn Daniel, Deshaun Williams, Jordan Wilkinson, Handsome Noel, Brandon John, Jaden Pear. Okay, we graciously thank you, Mrs. Ned, and I now call on Nickel Elcock to present a token of appreciation to Mrs. Ned. Nickel Elcock.
now invite Ms. Tessa McQuilkin, District Education Officer of District 5, to assist with these awards. Kamal Joseph. Amir Patel. Josiah Brave Boy. Jerome Francis. Naeem Roll. Ethan Ferguson. Rowan Ferguson. Timarion Ross. Jason John. Che Toussaint. Dejan Stephen. Caleb Williams. Dakota Joseph. Malachi Paul. Ethan Newton. Michael Bishop. David Ashby. Kyle Harley. Mikhail Beggs. Chaka Stephen. Chima Onu. Zane James. Kirani Mohan. Rondell Charles. Kevin Mahon. Noah Mitchell. Kaden Andrew. Shondell Finley, Jaden Pierre, Ethan Saint Bernard, Joshua Jeleno, Jace Philip, Jordan Richards Buckmeyer, DeAndre Penny, Ethan Bob, Carson Walker, Marquise Sorzano, Nigel Samuel Peters, Ezekiel Thomas, Vincenzo Constantini, Kelshon Modest, LeBron Granger, Caleb Mark, Nickel Elcock, Elon Simon, Kamari St. Louis, Jeremy Frank, Deshaun Milan, Christopher Penny, Nathaniel Lett, Kyle Newton, O'Neill Thomas, Shane Noel, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the graduating class of 2026. I now invite Brandon Skeet to do the honors of presenting to Ms. Tessa McQuilkin. It is impossible to continue this ceremony without taking a moment to honor those who have truly made this day possible, the backbone of our graduates' success, their mothers. At this moment, we invite the mother of Kyle Harley to please join us on stage with Kyle, with your son as well. While we would have loved to honor every single mother individually today, Ms. Harley stands before us as a proud representative of all mothers here and the incredible sacrifices you continue to make. We understand that motherhood is not an easy task, and we want to hand you your flowers right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Today, we pause to honor the fathers among us. We thank you for your guidance, sacrifice in helping shape the lives of your sons. On behalf of all fathers, we call on Mr. Stanley Granger, father of LeBron Granger, to accept this small token of appreciation as a symbol of our gratitude to every father present here this afternoon. Please join us in showing our appreciation.
No graduate walks this stage alone. Behind every success lies an entire community. It lives in the teacher who sparked the flame and the parents who sacrificed whenever hardship came. It lives in the families who served as a steady guide and a friend or the friends who believed and stood by their side. It is found in the staff walking out of their view and the partners who invested in all that you do. To express our deepest appreciation, please join me in welcoming Ethan Ferguson to deliver the vote of thanks.
Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the graduating class of 2026, I stand before you with profound gratitude as we mark the end of a defining chapter in our lives. These past years have been filled with challenges, growth, perseverance, and unforgettable memories, experiences that have shaped our minds, strengthened our character, and empowered us to become ambassadors who model excellence and champion positive change in an ever-evolving society. First and foremost, we give thanks to God Almighty, our sustainer and source of strength. Through every trial and every triumph, He has remained faithful. We owe this celebration, this achievement, and every success we have attained to His grace and guidance. To God be all the glory. We extend our heartfelt appreciation to everyone who played a role in making today's ceremony a success. To those who organized this event, coordinated every detail, and worked tirelessly behind the scenes, thank you for your dedication and commitment. Your efforts have transformed today's celebration into a memorable occasion that we will cherish for years to come. To our invocation speaker, Pastor Stanford Simon, thank you for opening this ceremony with words of faith, hope, and inspiration. Your prayer reminded us to place God at the center of every accomplishment and every new beginning. We are also deeply grateful for your meaningful invocation and for blessing our school rings, symbols of our shared journey and our lasting connection to our alma mater. To our special guest speaker, Pastor Jamie Gordon, thank you for delivering a powerful feature address. Your words of wisdom challenge us to think beyond today, strive for excellence, and become leaders who inspire positive change wherever we go. Your message has encouraged us to embrace the future with confidence, integrity, and purpose. To Mrs. Lorraine St. Louis Ned and Ms. Tessa McQuilkin, who had the honor of presenting our diplomas, we express our sincere appreciation. Though your role may have lasted only a few moments for each of us, you represented the significance of this milestone and helped make this occasion even more meaningful. Thank you for sharing in one of the most important moments of our lives. To our principal, vice principals, members of the senior management team, teachers, staff, and coaches, we offer our deepest gratitude. Thank you for believing in us, encouraging us, correcting us, and helping us discover our potential. Your leadership, patience, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment have inspired us not only to pursue excellence, but also to lead by example and make meaningful contributions to our communities. The lessons you have taught us extend far beyond the classroom, and we will carry them with us wherever life leads. To our parents, guardians, families, and loved ones, you are the silent heroes behind every graduate seated here today. Thank you for the sacrifices you have made, the prayers you have offered, the encouragement you have given, and the countless ways you have supported us throughout this journey. Whether it was waking up early, working long hours, offering words of comfort, or simply believing in us when we doubted ourselves, your love has been our greatest source of strength. This achievement belongs to you just as much as it belongs to us. Finally, to my fellow graduates, congratulations. Today marks not only the end of our secondary school journey, but also the beginning of our responsibility as ambassadors of excellence. As we step into an evolving society filled with new opportunities and challenges, let us lead with integrity, embrace lifelong learning, and use our knowledge, talents, and character to inspire positive change. Let us be remembered not only for our achievements, but also for the difference we make in the lives of others. May we continue to uphold the values of our alma mater, serve our communities with compassion, and leave every place better than we found it. As this ceremony comes to a close, we once again extend our sincere thanks to everyone who has joined us in celebrating this milestone. Your presence has made this occasion even more meaningful and has reminded us that success is never achieved alone. May God continue to bless each of you, grant you safe travels, and guide us all as we move forward as empowered ambassadors, committed to modeling excellence, championing positive change, and making a meaningful difference in an ever-evolving society. Thank you, good evening, and congratulations once again to the graduating class of 2026.
We now invite the graduating class of 2026 back on stage to do the graduation pledge and changing of tassels.
Class of 2026 firmly accept with respect and dignity the principles of non-palma single laboring and give the assurance that we will always, in the interest of the school in particular and the nation in general, uphold the good name and best traditions of our alma mater, GPSS.
I now invite staff, all boys and all girls to stand for the singing of the school song. The last stanza will be done by the graduating class.
As this ceremony draws to a close, we send our graduates forward with prayers for God's constant guidance and blessings. To seal this moment, I invite back on stage Pastor Stanford Simon to return for the benediction.
May we all stand, please. Two tasks ahead of me, the benediction and to bless the rings. Just want to take this opportunity to say congratulations to you boys, and as you begin this new and great journey before you. Let us pray. Father, we thank you for who you are. Today we bow before you. Lord, I thank you for these rings that these boys are going to put on their hands, wear on their fingers, as they head to a world uncertainty. May these rings a reflection, O God, of what they have learned, understand in the days of GBSS. May it be a reminder of many of the principles, many of the thoughts they have learned, and the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others. May these rings be a reflection of them as they wear it, and may they, O God, be men of peace, of joy, and may they give themselves, Lord, to the world. We ask a blessing over these rings. And now, Father, as we go with us. Thank you for all of the graduates. Thank you for the years you have blessed them with. Thank you for the opportunity you have given to them to be at GBSS. Thank you for the teachers, the principal, the mothers and fathers, those who have given themselves, the bus drivers, Lord, everyone who have taken time to take care of them. And now today, I pronounce a blessing over them. May you give them guidance and the wisdom that is needed to face the world ahead of them. May your peace be over them. May they find comfort when, Lord, there are difficulties and challenges that they themselves cannot control. May they be reminded that you, God, they can do all things through you who strengtheneth them. I pray a blessing over them now in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Go with us as we go in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Amen. God bless you.
We now invite Kasai to present a token of appreciation to Pastor Stanford Simon. Kasai. Thank you, Pastor Simon. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings this ceremony to an official conclusion. To our graduates, may your dreams remain bold, may your character remain strong, may your pursuit of excellence never cease, and wherever life leads you, may you always carry the values and the proud legacy of the Grenada Boys Secondary School with honor. We will now have the recessional, and may I kindly ask that everyone remain seated while the graduates, faculty, invited delegates, and official party exit first. Once they have departed, the ushers will direct the audience to leave in an orderly manner. On behalf of Grenada Boys Secondary School, we thank you for sharing this wonderful ceremony with us. Congratulations once again, class of 2026. Have a safe journey home.
look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Yeah. As far as I can. I can, yeah. My two hands in the air as far as I can. Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing, yeah. Lift up my eyes to this, I'm blessed, oh man. Ooh. Sometimes I'm lost and far from home, but I'll find my way. I follow my heart, I know I'll be found someday. While I'm lost, I learn and live. What do you say? Let's have a good time until that day. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. Yeah. Lift up my eyes to this. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Yeah. As far as I can. I can. Yeah. My two hands in the air as far as I can. When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Yeah. As far as I can. I can, yeah. My two hands in the air as far as I can. blessed, oh man. Ooh. Sometimes I'm lost and far from home, but I'll find my way. I follow my heart, I know I'll be found someday. While I'm lost, I learn and live. What do you say? Let's have a good time until that day. Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the hills. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Yeah. As far as I can. I can, yeah. My two hands in the air as far as I can. Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing, yeah. Lift up my eyes to the hills, I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Yeah, as far as I can. I can, yeah. My two hands in the air as far as I can.
1, 2. A key was found on one of the seats, so feel free to collect your key. Roman Reggae, Lavoleins, Grenada.
A key was...
So in case you're missing a key, feel free to collect it from Mrs. Hippolyte. Secondly, the rings. The teachers responsible for the rings, they are waiting on the boys by the steel pan. Miss Alexander, Mr. Faria, Mrs. Noel.
Five as two boys.